All right. Good morning once again. You are all welcome to Digitech Zeal. This is data analytics session with Power BI. Okay, so I will just paraphrase on some of the things we have done before this session. I could remember that that was equivalent to introduction to Power BI. Introduction to Power BI, where we looked at the definition of Power BI as one of the powerful data analytics tool, mainly for data visualization, data cleaning, and also modeling data, and of course, for data analysis. And I told us that Power BI is uh, more suitable for analyzing business data or financial data, right? And I took my time to highlight some of the advantages of using Power BI. We looked at why organizations always prefer using Power BI. We look at all that, and then we also explain the components of Power BI, where we mentioned it has a mobile component. That is, you can view your Power BI report via mobile phone. It has Power BI Desktop, which is the version that is created for you and I to learn, which is also an open source, which means that it is free. And then we have the Power BI service, which is the paid version of Power BI, of which an individual cannot even purchase. So we look at all this. Now, in this session, our focus is going to be on before that, I would like to draw our attention back to one of the reasons why Power BI is best known for data visualization, right? Because we also mentioned that Power BI helps us to create interactive dashboards. If you still remember that class, it helps us to create interactive dashboard. In fact, that is one of the major strengths of this program. All right, because every data analyst will always want to communicate multiple findings or insights using a dashboard. So what we are going to learn in this session is that we are going to model our data, but I will believe that the data modeling must have been sorted out. If you watch the last video, you will be able to know what is data modeling properly. But just to summarize, before we dive into the creation of the dashboard using Power BI visuals or elements, is I told us that modeling data is very essential, particularly when you are given two or more separated data sets and you are supposed to perform your analysis across all of them. You are supposed to analyze, let's say they gave you data in 2021, separated or separately from the one of 2022. And then maybe another one, making it 2023. You are not supposed to present individual reports. You are supposed to analyze the three of them. So remember in that class, we talk about how you can model your data so that you can be able to what to pan across them while you are analyzing. Right. So maybe in the course of some of the projects, I will still talk about it. I will try and look for data sets that meet the criteria because the three data sets they must have common column or common value before you can probably mesh them or append them. But in this session, I'll be focusing on how to create interactive dashboard. So the question is, what is a dashboard that we want to create? So we're actually combining indirectly two to three topics together for us to build a dashboard. All right. So in other words, we're going to learn three different topics in the process of building the analytics dashboard. But just to refresh our memory, I know that a couple of times I've explained what a dashboard is all about. So remember, we did mention some time ago that um, a dashboard is like an interface that you create that must be user friendly, that helps us to combine multiple uh, reports in one place. For example, this is your dashboard. When I was explaining the interface, I told us this is your dashboard. This is your visualization section. This is where all the data you want to analyze, once they are uploaded, this is where you access them. This is your view component where you can view your your data in different form. I told us this one is where you can view the actual data because you'll be able to view the values under the data set. So whichever anyone you select here, you'll be able to view what you have under it. We talk about this one, which tells us the relationship between one and the other. So you can see that we are seeing, I think this was the one I used in explaining the last class where I was doing data mapping, where I explained this cardinality, where I said we have one-to-one cardinality, we have one-to-many cardinality, and we have many-to-many cardinality. So if you want to watch that video, just go to our official YouTube at Digitech Zeal and then search for Power BI. You should be able to see the description that says uh, probably introduction to Power BI or Power BI data cleaning. Any of them will be able to what to tell you uh, how we came about all this mapping, right? So I was only trying to explain that. So now we are back to what report view because you must be in your report view before you can talk of creating a dashboard, right? Please let me confirm my audio again. Hope I'm still good. Hope my audio is
Yes,
still
sir.
good. Okay. All right. So let's start with the dashboard. In other words, the topic is um, data analysis. Data analysis using Power BI visuals slash dashboard design. So two topics in one because you can't separate them because we need to go through two of them for us to understand what we want to do. So data analysis with Power BI visuals. These are the visuals slash dashboard, or let's say interactive dashboard creation. So these are the topic that we want to look at. So it's a journey. Dashboard, a good looking dashboard takes time. It's not what you do within 30 minutes. So I may be a bit slow while trying to explain what I'm doing, but just make sure that wherever we stop, we continue from there in our next class. Remember what I told us that we are going to increase the numbers of meetings starting from August. All right. So let's start by understanding what is a dashboard that we want to create. Like I said, a dashboard is an interface that collates or combines or used in presenting multiple insights or reports from a data set. So remember the principle. We have to start by understanding our data set. That has been the tradition uh, in data analytics. When you are given any data, whatever analysis you want to perform, you are expected to understand the data. So let's say we want to analyze this sales data. So the first thing I would do to study the headers within this data is to expand it here and then This data set comprises of the following attributes or labels. We have country, we have item type, we have order dates, we have order ID, we have order priority, we have region, we have sales channel, we have ship date, we have total cost, we have total profit, we have unit cost. Just want us to understand the data before we start our analysis proper. We have total revenue, we have unit cost, we have uh, we have unit price, and then we have unit sold. So you can see that this data is rich for the dashboard we want to create. Now, once you have studied the headers in your data set, which can be accessed through the data section, we have to switch the view from report view to data view to enable us see the values under these headings. And to do that, that is when we come to what? Table view. I told us that table view is the same thing as data view, the raw data, the data you are given. So you can see that this view allows us to see both the headers and the value. So what is the benefit of me being able to view the values? So I will know the type of values that I have under each of the headers. That is also very, very, very important because at this point, we want to draft our analysis questions. Because those models that I show you, those visuals that I show you don't just call them anyhow. You call them depending on the nature of your analysis question. And that is why we are going through this process for us to understand the data set so that we'll be able to draft uh, questions that will eventually lead to performing meaningful analysis that will now finally give us collection of insights that could be presented for smart decision making. So we must understand that sequence. All right. Now, coming here tells me that, oh, these are categorical data. How do I know that the values I have here, they are categorical data? Because they can be grouped. All right. They can be grouped. For example, now, once you have a column where values are repeated, then you know that that is a categorical what value. All right. So if you are given a data set that does not have any column with categorical value, just know that your analysis is not going to be super. Because most fantastic analysis is where you have a number of value, or let's say number or integer. When I say number, it could be float, it could be integer. You are analyzing them against a categorical value. Now, like here, how do I know that the values I have here are categorical value? The moment any of the value is repeated, is no longer unique value. For example, now I have Europe here. I have what? Europe somewhere here. So which means that it's not unique. Now let's check for country. Country is also what? A categorical value because I can see some of the countries what are repeated. I hope we are getting what I'm explaining. Please, can I get a response?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So I just want us to know the difference between categorical value and unique value. So we should be able to know within our data. So if you look at this one now, this is also a categorical value. Then here is also a categorical value. Here, categorical value. Here, dates is a data type on its own. Here, they are unique value. So these are not categorical value because if you look down, you will notice that the values are not repeated. The values here, they are not what? Repeated. Then if you check this one now, unit price, these are floats. And these are also categorical what? Value, because I'm very sure that at some point, some value can be what? Are repeated. All right. So if you also check through total revenue, these are float and also categorical value. Now you can see that we can easily draft some questions that we are going to what answer that will form the report within our dashboard. So, for example, now remember there was a technique that I explained to us. There's a way you operate as a data analyst. Somebody should help me to drop a message in the group that the class is going on. All right. So there's something I explained to us the other time. Anytime you want to approach data like this, it is very important that you assume yourself to be the owner of the data, which is the CEO or the manager or the owner of the business. And then that is at the point where you want to draft your question, you must not decide to be. The side to be is the manager or the owner or the stakeholder side at the point you want to draft your question. You have to be in their own reasoning. All right. So, for example, you put yourself there, and then you are looking through the data as the owner of the data. Okay, what are the possible insights that you feel that will help you to make effective decision? And I am very sure from this data we just glance through, I am very sure that what this is going to be their strongest what focus. They will like most of your analysis to be channeled to this and what this. I want to know whether anybody agree with me on that, because right now I'm on their side now. So if I am the owner of this data, I am saying that my interest, whatever my data analyst is going to do, I would like him to tell me the total profit against each of these what six channels. I would like him to analyze how much is being generated from each of these unique what six channels. And the reason is very clear. Is for making the right decision so that he will know which of this method he or she is to maintain most, so that he will know or she will know which of this channel they are to promote what most. So whatever you are doing, just know that it has decision aspects. If whatever analysis you perform cannot be traced to making any tangible decision, then it means you have not done anything. So if you look at this revenue, they will also like to know, okay, compare the revenue to the countries or compare the revenue to region. So these are valuable or uh, these are valuable questions. How am I able to see all this? Because right now I'm not seeing myself as a data analyst. I am seeing myself as the owner of the business. So once you have been able to achieve that, then you come back to the end of being a data analyst. Then at that point, you will now start what? Providing solution to those questions that you outline. So you can see the way you balance it. So we have a lot of questions here that we are going to answer that will form the report that will be or that will form our dashboard. And why I say we are going to create a dynamic or an interactive dashboard, it means that all the reports that we are going to create here, they are going to be connected to each other such that when one is touched, the output we go round. That is what makes it what interactive. The what makes it though that is not just what makes interactive. The color, the design also have a way of making it what more communicative. All right, because the interactiveness or the interactivity means communication. So you can use the way you use your color to communicate swiftly. You can use the way the data are synchronized to also what communicate. And when we say a dynamic dashboard, what we are simply saying is that a dashboard where the report within it can change. So it's not a dashboard where the report within it, the value are static. That is, I can do something or the value will change. That is what makes a dashboard to be dynamic. Why what makes a dashboard to be interactive is what ability of one report and the other to communicate. I hope we are still following. Can I get a response? I hope we are still following.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we will now know the data we want to analyze. So the next thing we want to look at now is what we call cards. What we call card. We need to understand. I hope you are making your notes. I hope you are making your notes. So we need to understand what is called what? Card. We need to know what is called card. So in data analysis, I believe I must have mentioned the word a card when we were in Excel, particularly if you watch the last video where we use pivot table. I must have used some of these terms. But let me just take it again. Now, what do we mean by card? A card is a card in Power BI is a visual. In other words, this is it here. It's a visual. Remember, I told you that what all these are what we are going to use to create our reports, and the report will be made up of the insights that we must have derived from the data that will enable us to identify the trend, the pattern, and the outlier that will form our executive word report presentation. So, which means that we are just starting the journey of how to use this visual, because this is one thing that makes Power BI unique. Because we did mention in that class that Power BI is rich in terms of what? Analysis, what? Visual or elements. There are a lot of tools that you can easily use using drop and that's drag and drop. We mentioned it in the last class. Make sure you watch that video. All right. So let me go through the card definition again. I say card in Power BI is a visual that displays single. Let me see if I can write some of these things because we need to understand for the sake of those that are making their note. I said what? A card visual, or let's say card in Power BI is a visual. So we need to understand the component that is a visual that displays a single. So this is a keyword, so that because you need to know when you are to use card. You need to know when to use card value or key performance indicator. Key performer what indicator, which is generally known as KPI. Sorry, KPI. So this is a simple definition of a card. All right. Now let's look at it. Like I was saying, you see all these visuals that are here. You must use them professionally. So you must know the kind of analysis that goes with what? This, this. So they are not just there to be picking anyhow. There's a reason why I'm using cards, and we are going to see it. Now look at the definition. I say what? A card in Power BI is a visual that displays a single important word value. Now, that is what we also call single metric value. Now, what it means is this. If I go back to the data set now, and we are asked to summarize all the values we have here, that is what? Give us the total profits generated. We are going to add all the values under what? This header. That is going to generate one line what? Result. So if the result is not like 1 million, 2 million, the result will never be 1 million, 5 million. No, it's going to be what? Single line. I hope you understand that. That's the meaning of what? Single metric. Now, which means that your card form the top part of your dashboard. We are talking about creating interactive dashboard here. So your card, that is, you have to perform card analysis. That's what single metric what analysis at the top. So if I'm to give all the structure, maybe let me quickly do that. I think that will help us to understand what I'm trying to. Let's design the dashboard. How do we want the dashboard to look like? Let's design it. So let's say, okay, I'm using this. So let's say this is a dashboard. Don't mind my shape, because you must be able to what? To sketch or to have an idea of the structure of your dashboard, because this is what makes it user friendly. Now we are going to have some reports, the card analysis report, which will be the report that will form single. So this is what we want to achieve. So we want all those analysis to be at the top of our dashboard. So we want those analysis to be at the top of. So this is the structure. Then at the end of the day, we are going to perform categorical analysis or comparison analysis. Comparison analysis is where you are summarizing maybe the profit against different countries. So we are going to have a value be compared to one country, another value compared to another country, another value compared to another country. So that is what categorical what analysis, or sometimes we refer to it as aggregate analysis, or there's this other word I wanted to use. All right, or comparison was analysis, because you are comparing. So that's the kind of analysis. At the end of the day, you must write a report that say, okay, this is the country that perform what better. So, and that kind of analysis is used to detail the card. The card analysis must have given you maybe the total profit is what 1M. Now, in business, the owner of the business knows that this 1 million generated profit can be attributed to different countries. So he would like you as a data analyst to give him or her the breakdown of this 1 million per country. So that is where you now use that categorical analysis structure. So this is going to be the categorical analysis. It's going to be bigger than that one. And then I'm just trying to give us the picture of the dashboard structure we want to achieve. So here will now be like, this is how you are going to have 2 lines, not one. So this will be like the list of the country, the unique country where those transactions happen. Then this will be the summary of their profits against each of them. So this will be the structure of that. And then there will be there, we are going to use this. We are going to use this or this. Can you see it now? We are not going to use card. So we're going to use table or matrix what? Visual. Now, here will be a kind of, maybe here will be a graph that we, visualize this table, so that we'll be able to know the trend and the pattern of the transaction. So that is why you must learn to back up your table analysis with graphs, so that the graph can easily help you to detect your trend and your pattern. We have already established all these things from advanced Excel. Then here we are going to have maybe another report. Maybe another report will come in here. Maybe this one is analyzing the revenue. This is going to be a kind of, now all this that you are seeing here, maybe this one will be breaking down the profit. Maybe here you have another 1M of analyzing the revenue. So this one can be breaking down what? The revenue. So maybe this one, you can have another one. Then maybe down here, I will have a slicer. I will have a kind of a technology or a system that I will be using to filter across all the reports. So which means that this my slicer can be, I can slice based on maybe the sales channel. So if I click on offline, then it will give me the analysis of offline here, give me the analysis of offline in, give me the percentage of offline in this 1 million, and so on across all the words, the elements of your dashboard. So let me get a response if that is clear before I proceed. I just want us to visualize what we want to achieve. Any question? Can we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So just give me 1 minute. Come. So I just hope you are still here.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. So now we have seen the picture of the dashboard we want to create. And then you're going to see the reason why I need those elements that I mentioned, the card, and there's this other element we are going to talk about. So let me take this off. Now we want to build an interactive dashboard, and we are going to start with um, creating our card analysis or card. Now the first thing is that we are going to write. The first thing is that we are going to write. We should be able to describe the dashboard. Okay. Now, what do I mean by dashboard description? When somebody sees your dashboard, they should be able to know. Uh, they should be able to know what type of data is the dashboard analyzing. So we are going to go to insert, right? And then we are going to click on what? Text box to write text. Because I want to give a kind of description. So the moment you click on it, it will open up a text box, and together with formatting text, formatting pictures or tools rather. These are some of the tools we are already familiar with from Microsoft Word. All right. So now, what do I want to? That data set is a sales inventory data set. So for that reason, I'm going to type uh, the company name. I can say Digitech sales data or sales dashboard. Sales dashboard. Right? Now, the same thing, you have to enhance the appearance of it by formatting it. That is why all this came out. So you can bold it, you can increase the size, you can bold it, you can increase the size. So let me increase the size to this. If this is not too big, let me stay at 24. Okay, because I need to save space for other things I want to do. Now, since you did not use it, or you can take it up, then you can reduce this, then you can move it, you can hold down the edge and press the left arrow button on your mouse and drag. So you position it. Okay, so now when you are creating your dashboard, please always be mindful of the colors you are using. I would advise us to start from using one color or two colors. Now, one color can be only blue. If you use white, it's not counted. If you use black, it's not counted. So you can use one color and then probably what balance it with those natural colors. So now, how do you give it color? You come here and click here. So I just want to use a very simple or let me use this color, right? So if you click outside, you see the color there. Okay, so this is done. So anytime you want to modify it, once you click on that text, it will come up. Now the next thing is the company might have a logo and they want you to put the logo somewhere here. So you go to image. From image, you are going to be asked to search the image out. So let's see how we can get the image from a URL. So you can see what came out as soon as I click on image. So you can see that, let me turn this on. So there are times where you click on a visual and then it will bring out what formatting pictures, which we are still going to talk about properly. So now I want to get an image. What type of image, the destination, the URL under type. You change this to maybe the picture, the image you want to get, maybe is connected to a website. So let me choose this and see that here will enable me to what to put the image address to get it. So now, for example, if I click here, make this property change under what this. So this is going to be like condition. I don't think I should go this way because it's too advanced. At the moment, there are some things we need to have done for us to get that properly done. Let me not to distract us. We are still going to get to that. Don't want to add the icon to our analysis. Now, so we have our dashboard description here. Now, you can determine the background color of this dashboard area by going to your home. You go to view rather, by going to your view, then you can see that, remember I told us some time past that you can actually what collapse all this. You can collapse all this while you are analyzing in order to have more space. And then if you don't want to collapse, you can come to page view and change you can say fit to, you can see the way it increase it now. So you can work with this so that you can have enough space. So there are other options there. We have this option actual size. So depending on the view, but I think I'll go with a fixed to width. And then you can decide to say, okay, you want the grid line to be active so that probably item can stand out better. Then you can decide to say, okay, you want mobile view while you are analyzing. There is mobile view. Uh, so I will not advise us to work with that. So you can change it from here. So let's say on the laptop view. So let me turn off this if it's not going to play any role. Then here you can change the background color. You can actually click here, click anywhere here, and then by the time you come to the formatting aspect, you move from this add data to your visual to this. So once I click here, it will allow me to color this place. You can see canvas setting, page information, canvas background, wallpaper. So I can come here. This is where I'll choose color. Maybe I want the general background to be black because I would like to use that to bring out my report. By the time I have mounted the report, the background color will make uh, the report to be interactive or to stand out. So this is where you can set this. You can stay on a particular color that you know that goes with other things you are doing. Then you can decide to use a picture. Maybe you have downloaded a picture from somewhere that speaks what your analysis operation. Let me just see if I can have any picture here just to show us how it works because this one is direct. You don't need to use URL. As you have picture in, let me go to picture folder. So let's say this picture align with my analysis. So I can click here and then you see that what. So, but you can see that that picture that you put here is specify what fit. So we can come here and say what stretch. so that it can cover the entire what dashboard. So there are some analysis that the background, it could be an image that is speaking your operation. So you can also come here and transparent it. Maybe if you notice that the background is overshadowing the report that is going to come on it. Sometimes you can finish creating your report before you do this. All right. So but I like sometimes creating all my reports before I put the background. Then I'll be able to calculate how the color of the background is competing or is matching with the report I will have created. But because of training sake, I have to follow this sequence. Now you can see that you can actually drag it, reduce it, so that it doesn't in any way conflict with what you are doing. Then we also have this one here. If you want to use any of this, but this is the one that is working with the Canva, because the Canva is this. Right. So now with that, we can now go back to visual. You can see how I switch to format now and switch to what visual. Now we are still going to be doing more things there. So there's no point for alarm. We have a lot of things to do there. Now, the particular dashboard that you are creating, you have to name it. You have to name it. So you double click here, and then I could just change this to dashboard. I can just change this to analysis dashboard, or I can just say dashboard. I think I have a name there. Okay, let me just, that one is dashboard one. So I have this. So you must know how to name your dashboard. So all these ones are different. You can delete them if they are not going to do anything at the moment. I think I've created them probably in the last class. So you can delete them so that we can focus on what we are doing. So let me also take this so that we can focus on this very one. Okay, so we have our dashboard. Now I'm going to remove the background. I only use it to show us how to remove the background. To remove the background. Now another way is that if you don't want to go through that visual formatting by clicking here, you can also come here and choose from already made. These are some already made background that you can just choose, but you have to go and remove that other one because that one is Canva. Why that this one I brought now is the general background. So let me come here and there. So was it under wallpaper? So let me start by canceling the image first, and then I can also so this one is the one that came from here. So we can decide to say, okay, we want to reset back to default, all right? To allow us move on. So that is for that. Now I want to model, I want to answer some analysis questions. So this is what you are going to do. This should be your practice. This is what you should do. Create another sheet or another page like this, and then use your text to go to insert. All right, that's the text to I use in writing. Go to insert and then type your question here. Type your question here. So you can see the way I change the order now. I just click, just like what we did in Excel. I just click and drag it because here I want to, reflect my analysis question here. Question. So I'll know that all the questions that I would like to answer, I will capture them here before I answer them in my dashboard. So the first question is, let's say question one is, remember I'm capturing that data and I want to create four cards. In other words, I want to perform four single metric analysis, right? That I'm going to use cards to present. So the first one is analyze. Let me shorten it. Analyze total profit. Analyze total profit. So I would like to increase the size. Remember, I showed us how to do that. Okay, so the first one is analyze our total profit. Then the next one is, because I'm creating four cards, so I'll create the question. Analyze total profit. Then the next one is analyze total revenue. See the reason why you should understand your data, because I've already studied my data. The next one is what? Analyze count. This one here I'm counting because this one will sum. Then I want question that will do counting. I'll say, okay, count total numbers, count total numbers of entries of record. So like this card to tell us how many records are in that data set. All right. So the fourth one is what? Count unique products. Want to count unique, correct? Yeah, unique. Count unique country rather. Count unique country. Count unique country. I hope we are still following. Can I get a response from one person, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So count. So these are my questions that I would like to answer. These are the questions I would like to answer. Now let's go and answer the first one, total profit. So let's go to our dashboard. Now, here we cannot bring in cards here at the moment because card is just a container, is analysis container used to present single result analysis. So the question is that the calculation itself, the card is not responsible for performing the analysis. The card is only responsible for displaying the results of that calculation. All right. So that will now take us to what we call measure. That will now take us to what we call measure. Let me write it. Please make sure you make your notes. So let me write it here so that you understand what I'm talking about. Because you cannot use cards without what? Measure. You're going to see it now. So let's look at what? Measure. So what is measure? What is measure? Now, a measure is a calculation. Measure is what? A calculation. I hope you are making your notes. Created using DAS. Can somebody still remind us what we call DAS? If you can remind us, just unmute and tell us what it does. You know, I've explained it in the last class. Any idea? If there's no idea, please, once I ask a question like this, you can just unmute and say no idea so that we don't waste our time. Do I still have anybody who can remind us what is that? I explained that in the last session. Okay, so let me ask you, please, let's be reading our notes, not just waiting for the lecture day. Because these are some of the things that sometimes I remember, or when I look at, I will just say, go and practice. Because you are not asking questions in the class that show that you are following up. Now, we said that means data analysis expression. I told us that is a data language, is the language that Power BI uses to develop its calculation function. All the functions that are going to be helping us to perform analysis calculations, they are built with the DAS language. So when we say measure is a calculation, talking about the result created using which language? DAS, right? Which I say DAS means analysis what? That is data analysis expression, which means data analysis. Analysis expression. Don't forget next time. All right. Now that we are still talking about that perform calculation, that perform calculation on, please, let's look at the keyword on. Where is it going to perform the calculation? On the current, what? Data. the current filter, let me put it this way, the current filters and selection. Most of these terms, you understand them when we are done with the whole analysis on your or in your report. Simple. So this is a measure. Now I will break it down by telling us that measure is what? A calculator. So in case you don't want to stress yourself, just know measure to be what? A calculator. That this time around is not general calculator. It's a calculator that you create using the DAS language to perform, to answer your analysis question. So it's a calculator that should be designed based on a purpose. So you must have an analysis question in front of you want to answer. You will now look at all the inbuilt dash function. None of them can answer it. So you now, okay, let me go and build my what? My calculator to answer my analysis question. That is exactly what I'm going to do here. Now, let me take off this. I believe we have written our notes, right? Because I want to clear it up. Are we good? Can I clear it? Can I clear it, please? Okay, so let me assume that we are still here. Please, let's let to respond fast. This is an online training. Your response gives the instructor an impression that you are following. It's very important. It's very important. Okay. All right. So now, like I was saying, we want to answer the question. So if I go back to my question, sorry, let me clear this. So if I go back to my question page, the first question we are answering is analyze total profit. So I'm going to create a measure that we sum up all the values under what? Total profits. All right. So that is the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to create a measure for that. So that will now take us to the steps on how to create measure. Now, to create your measure, you have to go to your data view like this. You have to go to your data view. Then from your data view, the particular data that you want to analyze, that you want to perform the calculation on, one of its feature, you have to make sure that that data set is selected. Now, inside it, that is after you have expanded it like this, you can be on any of these headers. It's not compulsory that it must be this. Just make sure that you are on any of these header, right click, and then you are going to see what? New measure. Make sure you pay attention, because if you don't submit your assignment, I don't think the next class will hold. So I believe we should be following very well. You should submit whatever I'm going to give you. You should submit it before Saturday. So please. So now you click on new measure. Now, if I click on new measure, just watch what is going to happen. It's going to open the measure interface here. I hope we are still here.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
So, okay, so now you can see that this is the measure. This is how it's going to open. And what icon are you seeing? This calculator icon. Now, your measure must carry a name that describes what you want to perform with the calculator. This calculator that we are building, this analysis calculator we are building, is for answering the question that say what? Total what? Profit. So that becomes the name. Always use a name that suggests what is going to do for you. So this is what? Total underscore total what? Profit. Please, the name you are giving here must not be the same name with any of these header. So I cannot use total space profit. because it will say that what that name is already existing. So make sure that you use something different. Or you can even say what, if you know that it's going to complete one hand, you can say what, TP, but you understand what it means. Now you now come outside the equal sign and call the dash function, because you are asking analysis that work with what, sum. So I'll say what, sum. Once I type the first letter, you see the sum function showing up. So I'll click here. Now, the moment I click on the sum and what to use, it brings out the data name and the header. Now remember that here we have how many data? If you check here now, we have data, we have Amazon data, we have the other data there, right? We have the Amazon what data what there. Are you with me? Is anybody still with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's go again, because I've already. So we are on this data now. Let me type the sum again. Sum, and then we just click here. All right. Now, if you scroll down now, this is what I wanted to show. If you scroll down now, you see that you are having Amazon sales data, the headers attached to them. Then if I go down, you see what? The second data in that data structure, customer, and then you also see the headers in that data attached to each of the names. If you go down, you see what? Data. Now, this is where you have to be careful. If you go and pick header under customer, you are not analyzing the right data. So I have to make sure that I am seeing the name of the data set in which I have the header that is going to make up the summation, which is what? Total profit. So it's not just you seeing total profit, because in the other data you can have total profit. You take note of that. In the other data you can have total profit. So that you don't go and pick the right one. How do I know the right one? You trace what is the data name? Amazon. Oh, I will know that, oh, I'm picking the one from what? Amazon. So you click here. Now, after that, you have to click here to commit it. You have to click here to commit it. If it doesn't throw any error, then you are sure that what? Just a second. Please confirm if you can still hear me. I hope you can still hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Please confirm if you can hear me. Please confirm. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now, so now you can see that we have created the measure. How do you know that you have created the measure? You see the name you assigned is showing here, TP. Now, this is where you now bring the card. You see now the analysis has been done. All you need now is to consult the card. So how do you consult the card? You just come to your visual and just click. The card will open here as an empty box. So you can reduce it because it's just one value we want it to display. And then the arrangement of your card matters a lot, because this is going to be an interactive dashboard. So make sure that your elements, your dashboard components are properly organized. So now this card is empty. Now, what do we want this card to display? There is the answer in what? This calculator. So how do I add it? I will just make sure that you have selected the card, not like this. Make sure that you have selected the card like this, and then you now come to the checkbox beside that calculator. So that is where you have the answer. So once you click on it, you see that what? The card will analyze it.
Once I check it, you see that what it will analyze it. So you can see that it's calling the value at the moment, and it will display it to us immediately. So what are we getting here now? We are getting what? Error. So why are we getting this error? Let's check whether the catch. So you can always click on it to call it back if the formula was correct or not. So I think the formula is correct. Total profit. Okay, so let me re-add the card again and check. So you can actually click here and select what? Remove, to remove it. So I want to add the card again. Let me click and then click. What does it say? Error fetching data for this visual. See error. So let me debug. Calculation error measured Amazon. Some cannot work with value of this string. Okay, so now what we are going to do now is let's even find out whether what we have there, they are actually number. I hope their data type have not changed. So I'm going to confirm. It's talking about the data type. Let me change it to revenue just to confirm something. Let me know why. So that is talking about data type. So what I'm going to do is this. Possible that I must have tampered with it. But now let's go to table view and go and check the data type there. What we are adding, the calculation we want to perform now is total profit. Total profit. So which means that if I take this data, I may need to take this data to Power Query to go and check the type of data I have there. So that is where you can face this kind of issue. So let me go to Power Query, go to Home, then come to Transform, then click on Transform Data. So Power Query is where you do data cleaning. So from Power Query, I'm going to know whether the value there track as value because it's seeing them as tests. So which means instead of that, we cannot add tests. That's why I'm coming here to find out the actual data type. So from here, let's go to that particular header where I'm trying to, let's go to, which is this. So you can see the problem here. You can see the problem because I know that I've been here before to perform cleaning, probably in one of our classes. So this ABCD now means tests. Y1, 2, 3 means integer. So which means it's seeing this data as integer and what? So what I'm going to do now is to click on that place. All right, then I'm going to switch to what? Floats. I think what I have there, they are double, right? I think they are double. So let me change to what? Decimal. So you can see that I've corrected it now. So I've removed in fact, we are going to have that issue. So maybe if you want to work, let me change another one. There's another one I said I want to be working with. This, let me also change this to only what? Float numbers. Okay, so now after this, you have to what? Come here, you say what? Apply. After applying, then you click on what? Close. Or you can say close and apply to leave here. Or even the moment you click here that you want to leave, you are going to get a message that says, do you want to apply your changes? You just say yes. So once you click on yes, it's going to override what? The old one. So in that case, you have cleaned the data. All right. So if we are to proceed now, we should be able to, let's wait for it to complete. So we should be able to get our answer. So you can see the reason why data cleaning is very important. I think we did this data cleaning in the second video. Right? I drop all these videos in the group. So you go there and watch it and see how we did all that. I'm waiting for the data to update. Okay, so I think it's updated now. So the next thing now, let me check if it's updated. Okay, I think it should. All right, so let's go with the card again now. Let's go with the card again. Now, let's go with the card again. So I click on the cards again, and then let's say I'm adding this. Perfect. So you can see that we have been able to what? To correct it. Now, it's just a single metric, just a single value. So for that reason, there's no point of using too much space. Let me just reduce it. So, like I said, you have to form the design. You have to form a design. All right. So this is the description is not showing. So I need to expand it, make sure that you are seeing that. So this is the first card. So now, what we call formatting of your report. Formatting is one of those things that make your report interactive. So let me format it, because once I've formatted this, I'm going to replicate this format for the rest. All right. So how do you now format your visual? That is, you want the write-up to be more presentable and readable. How do you go about that? You click on it. You can see the other time we switch from visual aspect to format. Every visual that you are using here has a formatting arms. So now to format this report, you have to switch from visual to what? Format. And then when you get to format, the commands there are broken into two categories. Actually, they are broken into two categories. Now, what do I mean by that? You will see that we have visual, we have general. Now, it means the contents of this box has its own formatting tools, while the box itself has its own formatting. Now, under visual, you will have access to functions for formatting the content. While general, you will have access to features or functions for formatting the container. So let me start from here. So these are things on your own, actually, you can go through and understand. But let me just play around some of them. So under here, let's say I want to focus on the layout. So it's just one layout. I don't want that. So let me just go to this card to show that this is a particular card I am focusing on. Why you saw that is that there's another type of card there, multi-layer card. We'll have to pick the one because it's just single card. Now, I'll go to shape. I'll go to shape. You see that if you click here, let me pick the type of shape that I want to use. I want to use rounded rectangle. And then how much of that do you want to have? So you can see that it's moving inside. Just look at it here. That is what it's talking about. Then I'll go down to the background. So all these are different. Let me check for padding. You can turn anyone that is not on, you turn it on, probably to allow you to use the feature. So you can turn it off so that you can use the features manually. So the padding is the space. You can see the way the text is moving. The space between the content and the borders around it. All this is just to make your work, your content visible. So now you want to add shadow to it, you can click here and expand it. So it's not compulsory you use all the formats. So I can actually use all the formats at once. All right, so you can see that shadow effect coming out. Okay, so maybe just to make that value stand out from others, I'll check the one. So gradually we'll be coming here to take them. We want to give a background. I would like to use the general background or the background I have in mind. Let's just see if it's going to make sense. Okay, so I don't want that background. Let's reset it to what? To default. Okay, so now I'm looking at tool for formatting the values. Formatting the values. Let me check. I don't know why these two are supposed to give us we're supposed to have value here. So maybe it's my own version, but we're supposed to have value. So under value, that is where we are supposed to have formatting for changing the color of this text and others. So, but if you are working alongside with me, you can confirm it from your end. But let me just check first. If it's not there, then I move on first to create other card, because the focus is to create the card. So your own, you must see value. If you see value, that is where you have pictures for transforming the rights of the text itself. But let me see if I click on the text itself on the inside, I'll be able to get it. Okay. It's not there at all. There's something is wrong. So use this feature, formatting feature, add a field to the category section. Is there no field here? Okay, so I will check mine. I believe you should have it over there. But let's just go and create the next card. So the next card, if you look at our question, I just want to answer all the questions so that you can go and work on that as your assignment. The next question is, we want to also analyze the total revenue. So that will now take me to creating another measure. So you right click again, then click on new measure. Now, the same way, so give it, so this one I can just name it revenue, or let's say TR. Then this one we are still adding, we are still using some function because we are getting total. So I'll go for, I think we edited that. So click on the header and then commit it. Then after that, once the name shows here, it means you have created it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create another card. Make sure that you step out from this one by clicking outside, then activate the card. So this is the card that you are seeing there. Where is it? We have, okay, under this, we have all of them. So you click here, just click here, it will add it for you. Then you have to carry it, you have to maintain alignment. You have to make sure that all the card, the space between them should be distributed evenly, or you should make sure that they are not on different levels. Make sure that you are considering their alignment. Very important. Now we have the result here, so I'll just click here also. Then I have it calculated. Then you have to reduce it. In fact, what you would do here is that, yeah, just try and reduce it. Make sure that everything is on the same line. to make more sense. So because of this very one, you might need to expand this one a little bit. Okay, yeah, just that we have not added the format. Now, additionally, we are able to give all the formatting to this. We don't need to start formatting this one, just for us to position them. Because I'm looking at 4 of them, so I'm trying to see the next one will come here, the next one will come here, so the space will be well, distributed. Now, this very one that you have taken your time to format, you click on it, just like I said. Then you select what? Format Painter, and then you touch it. So automatically what? It will upgrade it to what? That one standard. So let's create another, but I see the values are not maintaining, they are not on the same alignment. So I can just, let me see, just want to make sure that I have, since the other order is not showing. So now the next thing is, we want to answer the next question. Once I'm done answering all the question, we will stop there. Then you will go and get to where I am. So we'll not be able to perform categorical analysis today. So the next one is count total number of records. So here we are to use a measure, and this time around we will use count function instead of sum. So we right click again, select what? A new measure, and then the measure name should be, let's say what? Count total. Let me just use this. Count total. So here we are going to use count, just like the way we have it in Excel. When you are counting numbers, you use count. When you are counting text, you use what? Count A. So let me use this because I'm still going to use that same column to do my counting. So I'm considering also any of this will give me the same number of records. So I can just click any one, then commit it. And once you get your results here, see total, which means we are good. Click outside, step out from the previous card, then go and click on card again, then pick it up, arrange it, then add the value. So that will tell you that we have total what? 100. So I will also click here. I want to assign the same format. So you can see that this is very simple. So the last question we want to answer is, what is the question again? Is count unique. Now, unique counting is different from that one now. Count unique country. That we want to know, if we go to the data now, we have the country repeated. We just want to know, okay, how many unique countries are there? So the same thing, step out from the previous card, then right click, then select what? New. Select new measure. Then let's name it unique county. Let's see what U county. U county. Now here we are going to use a function that say what? Distinct count. That is what you are going to use. Then you are counting that based on what? Country. So we are picking this country. And then you commit. And just pray that that data format should not affect it. Not to go back to the Power Query to go and modify that before we proceed. So now the next one is, so let's create the card again. Add the card. I hope we are still following.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm waiting. I thought I'll click on the card. Okay, that means I didn't leave it. So now we want to, what is the, okay, I think it's this one. I think it's this one. It's just a minute. Okay, so sorry. So as you can see, so I think we have created it by just, okay, let's add it. Good. So you can see that we have 76 unique countries. All right, so now let me distribute them very well. Let me distribute them very well. So let me give the same format to this format. Okay, so basically this is card. This is card. All right, so now this is where we are going to stop. So please, our next class, we are going to continue building this dashboard. Like I told us, dashboard is not what you can teach in a section like this, just one section. Otherwise, it's not going to be fine. So our assignment is to go and answer these same questions, and then the question should form the dashboard to this stage. Because I am going to continue with other breakdown, detailed reports of this summary. So any question, please? Any question? Do we have question? Do we have question, please? For those that have not watched the previous video, please go and watch those videos. Let's take this program very seriously, because if you don't know this tool, you may not be able to get any tangible job using this as in tangible data analytics job, because most company, you saw how I read out some of the reasons why company prefer the data analyst that know other ones and still know this. Very important. If you watch the first two videos, here I highlighted so many reasons why you should know this, if possible, more than every other one. Do we have question, please? Collins, Mrs. Nikos, do you have question? There's no question, so that we can draw the curtain here. Because I still, Mr. Nikos, please.
Sir, my question, I have question.
Okay.
Please, when I click on the data I downloaded, if I click view, I cannot be able to see the data. I don't know if there is any error or what.
Are you on the system now so that you can share your screen so that we can see it?
Okay.
Are you on it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, just quickly share. Let's look at it together.
Are you seeing it, sir?
Yes, I just allowed you now, but here to show. Are you sharing already?
Yeah. Okay.
It's coming up. It's coming up. Yes, it's coming up. So can you explain what you are saying?
What I'm saying, if I click on any of this now, this view reports, I cannot see the whole data set.
No, there is no view report. Now go to the next one. That is where you see it. Yes.
Okay. So that view is for what?
That view is your dashboard now. You know that is dashboard you are here to create now.
Okay.
This is where you are supposed to see all those cards.
Okay, this one is the cardinality. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I was clicking the first one that time.
No, that first one is the dashboard that you have created. Just like my own now. That is what you are seeing. If I switch from this one now to that table now, I'm not going to see my report again.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right. So, Collins, hope you are with us. Have you installed the Power BI, Collins?
No.
So go and download it. Watch the first video. I don't know if I've sent
Yeah.
you the video. All
I
right.
only have the last class video.
Okay, so I will try and look up and send you, because it's there just because I just added you recently. So I'll look for it and send to you. So watch it and go through the steps and install it before you start all this. Please, there won't be any
Oh,
else. Everybody should get here before the next class. All right, have a nice weekend.
all right.
Bye for now.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, Ms. Zawiko, see, we are coming up with the other class by 9. Don't forget. I also drop link.